Good morning, Greenlight the Day family. I hope all are well. It's good to be back home. I had been on the road for the past week. A very interesting weekend. I celebrated Easter Sunday, and then that Monday, the next day, my uncle was buried. So it speaks to the beauty of life in all areas. I'm blessed that it happened the way that it did. It's just a miracle. One of the things that I noticed, and I actually didn't notice this till I got back home, last week or week and a half on my website, My Journey in Scripture, I had left an audio talking about Joseph from the Bible and the story of his life, basically. And what amazed me was that for my uncle's funeral or his homegoing, the bishop said he quoted the same scripture. And at first I didn't get it, but my auntie who had visited my website, she looked at me and she immediately was like, did you hear him? Later on, she's like, you got that, right? You got that. And I still hadn't got it. I didn't get it till yesterday when I got home, that there was this similarity. So I think it's important for me to share with you, if you've heard it on the audio at the website, but also here to share with you what I learned from that lesson. And basically it's talking about what do you do with the purpose God has given you, or what do you do with your gifts? Joseph, from a very early age, was very gifted to the point that his father Jacob gave him a coat. And this coat was beautiful. It had many colors. And his brothers were very jealous. And so what they did is that they threatened to kill him. They put him in a deep well and thinking about ways to kill him. Well, fortunately, before they could think about, if we tell Dad that a wild animal ate him, how is that going to make sense while they were trying to figure all this out, a band of men came by and they sold Joseph into slavery. And I think about that today. We have gifts. We all have a purpose. What do you think? It's God-driven, Spirit-driven, driven from the universe. We all have gifts. We all have a purpose. What happens if someone so close to you, people that you think that you are able to rely on and share your gift with, denies your gift, sends you down to a place where you just might as well die? And it's a tendency for so many of us to take that gift and shut down. The gift that we have or the purpose that we're giving, we just bury it back inside ourselves. Now, Joseph could have done that. Here he is, sold into slavery from his family, people who are supposed to be supporting him, sold into slavery to a man called Potiphar. And he did so well with his gifts of administration that he was placed in charge of this man, Potiphar's entire household. Joseph could have said, man, it's all going wrong. I'm also shut down. I should have kept my mouth quiet. Who did I think I was? But Joseph, even in that next scenario, where he still was a slave, where he still wasn't at the top of his game, someone still had him under their thumb, he said, I'm still going to show you my gifts, because this is who I am. These are my gifts. I may be still trying to figure out this purpose, but I know these gifts that I have are going to lead me to my purpose. Well, he also was a very attractive man, and he got the attention of Potiphar's wife, and she tried to seduce him. And Joseph said, no way. And as he fled, she grabbed a hold of his outer garment and used it as proof to her husband that Joseph had tried to seduce her. The other way around, right? So then Joseph's put into prison. Again. Are you kidding? This man, he goes from down to up to down. So now he's in this prison again. Someone who wanted to use his gifts for their advantage was upset that Joseph didn't agree to this. And then Joseph winds up in a dungeon, a prison, with two other people, a cupbearer and a baker. And they worked for Pharaoh. These were the people who determined if Pharaoh, got poisoned food or not. So they're pretty important. And whatever happened, they wound up in the dungeon. And they both had dreams, and they asked Joseph, will you interpret these dreams? And Joseph said to the cupbearer, I'm sorry, you're going to die. But to the baker, he says, you're going to be put back to your original position. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. And Joseph said to the baker or the cook, you know what, when you get back to Pharaoh, kind of tell him about me, put in a good word for me. And of course, the baker forgot, didn't do it. So there's Joseph, still maybe wondering, what does all this mean? Why am I in all this darkness? But he never forgot about his gift. Well, sure enough, about a year later, Pharaoh has a dream, and he can't interpret it. He goes to all the wise men of Egypt, and they can't interpret it. And finally, the baker says, oh, wait, I know this guy. This guy named Joseph. I think he can do this for you. And so Joseph was brought before Pharaoh, and he was able to interpret the dream. And basically, the dream saved Egypt in a time of famine. It saved Pharaoh's kingdom from going under. He was able to foretell what it meant by the 7 fat cows, followed by the 7 skinny cows, the 7 healthy head of grains, followed by the 7 dying head of grains. And it meant 7 years of surplus and then 7 years of famine. And Joseph was able to interpret this. And so Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of his entire kingdom. He's like a viceroy. And can you imagine Joseph going, wow, all this I went through, I never gave up on my gift. I'm so glad that I never put my gift away, because even my closest friends denied me my gift. Someone tried to use my gift to their own advantage. No, I'm glad I held on to my gift, because now my gift is revealing my purpose. And lo and behold, who comes before Joseph? Because, the Pharaoh is so bad, all those in the countryside have to come in to the kingdom of Pharaoh. But his brothers, the very ones who thought about killing him but sold him into slavery. And when they finally found out it was Joseph, they thought the worst. They thought that they were going to be put to death. They didn't know what was going to happen. It's a long story that I'm not going to share with you. But you know what Joseph said to them? He said, I can't be mad at you. I'm paraphrasing, okay? Joseph is saying, I can't be mad at you. Because of what you did, I'm where I'm at now. You had no way of knowing that you were being used to fulfill my purpose. Because you were jealous of my gifts, you played into making my purpose come true, my gifts being recognized by the entire land. I should be thanking you, really, even though you thought you were doing me a disservice. And I wonder how that relates to us today. How many times have we put away our gift? How many times have we tried something, it didn't work out, and then we're like, oh, maybe later I'll try it. Maybe things just aren't right. 10 years later, we still haven't done anything. Each one of us has this gift that is leading to God's purpose for us. And we will only know that if we display that gift, if we use that gift, if we keep going, no matter what darkness, no matter what dungeon we see ourselves in. Don't forget that you have this gift, and use every opportunity to grow and give your gift. So that was something that I wanted to share with you, because I know we are all so wonderfully gifted, and I just want all of us to remember that there is a purpose to our life. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week and a happy weekend. I will talk to you later.